15 drivers, 15 minutes. Gus Lawrence and Marcus Littlewood share row number 1. Caden McQueen and Harry Burgoyne Jr. share row 2. Kalai Atkins and Louis Johnson Cool on row 3.
Row 4 is Josh Agenbar and Evan Thomas. Row 5, James Pashley and Luke Taylor. Row 6 is Alistair Cresswell and Alex Duncan.
The final drivers on the grid, Jack Nettleship, Harry Ewell and William Smith. This race could be decided on the first corner or the first lap. It is down really to how Marcus Littlewood, Caden McQueen and Harry Burgoyne Jr. conduct themselves and the type of start they get. Harry Burgoyne Jr. currently sitting on, let me double check, 17 podiums in his career. 10, 13, yep, 17 podiums. Macaulay Bishop now has 17 podiums. So a podium here would give Harry Burgoyne Jr. the outright lead once again. At the moment, he's in a tie on the all-time modern era list with Macaulay Bishop. We come into the tram lines, the final time today, Magic Wera.
And we're getting ready for start, are we? No, we are going round again.
Yes, indeed. We've already had one Scottish victory so far today. Harry Burgoyne Jr. would quite like to make it 2 wins for the Thistle, so to speak. You had the question, haggis, leaps and tatties. Haggis, it's sort of meat and herbs cooked inside a sheep's bladder, a sheep's stomach lining, with neeps are mashed Swede and seasoning, and tatties, of course, are potatoes.
Absolutely fascinating.
We did have a bit of a Glasgow kiss, so to speak, in the previous race. Let's hope decorum prevails in this one. The afternoon sun is creating a wonderful, wonderful contrast between the shining carts and the dark and foreboding trees that line this Scottish circuit. Out of the shadows, into the light comes Gus Lawrence, Marcus Littlewood, Caden McQueen, and the rest.
Well, we are getting ready for start here, folks. Are they steady? Are they level? I think we're going. Littlewood is gone, and we are racing! And is it close? Gus Lawrence retains the lead. Littlewood is second and is going to come out in third. It's ever so close. I think that's a mad croc. Yes, it is. It is Atkins into third and his teammate McQueen in fourth.
Poor start for, and an incident down there at the entrance to turn number 4, the number 21 and the number 55. That was Ewan Thomas. And is it the 75 of Jack Nettleship or the 55? Yeah, I think it was the 75 of Jack Nettleship getting involved there. Poor start for Harry Burgoyne Jr. down to fifth. A lightning quick start from Kalai Atkins, who is up into third place. Now, Marcus Littlewood was in there was a danger of him jumping the start, but now he's under pressure. And Atkins, and Atkins had his nose wiped for him there, going into turn 10. Littlewood, is this giving Lawrence the gap that he needs? Littlewood's obviously got his tyres set up to come in a little bit later. Burgoyne Jr. makes a move on McQueen going through turn number 1. It's Lawrence, Littlewood, Atkins, Burgoyne Jr., McQueen, Agenbar, Johnson, Cool and Pashley. Side by side over second.
Yes, side by side. Atkins has it. He's showing Littlewood well past him. Come on, just let me through. And Burgoyne Jr., Littlewood just slams the door in his face. Back you go. I'm holding on to third.
So, Kalai Atkins, here comes Harry Burgoyne Jr. We interviewed about 3/4 of his family yesterday in the paddock show, and Littlewood is not, though, giving up easily. Harry Burgoyne Jr. has got the bit between his teeth as he tries to wrestle third place away from the Jade Racing driver, and the leaders head down towards turn 10. And there's the 2 premium karting drivers running each other wide. Oh my goodness me, Josh Agenbar just shaved the outside barriers at about 45 miles an hour and somehow didn't get sucked in to an incident. He carries on going.
You should buy a lottery ticket on the way home.
Oh yes, that was that was a good bit of luck. Lawrence leads by a second from Kalai Atkins. Atkins had to make his way towards the back of the field in the pre-final. How much tyre has he got left in him? Because Lawrence was coaxing it as much as possible in the pre-final. The gap is 1 second.
The gap is 1 second, as you say. I mean, it depends what tire condition Lawrence has. I mean, can he push? I mean, ideally what he'd do is now he'd have a bit of a push stint, really break the mental psyche of Atkins, you know, to tell him, you know, no way, boy, are you catching me?
Yes, yes, very good thing. Yeah, does Gus Lawrence now stamp his authority and force Kalai Atkins to use up too much of his tyre trying to chase? Here's a little bit further back. That's Alex Duncan making a move going into turn number 4, passing William Smith for 12th position. And it's a Cresswell and James Pashley both up into the top 7. Cresswell in the Tim Wilson Motorsport. There's Nettleship in the MTL Motorsport number 75. And that is passing Luke Taylor for 10th position. Atkins on this lap is exactly the same. Marcus Littlewood, okay, Marcus is going to be kicking himself. He's now set the fastest lap of the race, only 100th of a second quicker than Gus Lawrence, but it shows that he has got the pace in that kart. Now he does not have track position, though again, Littlewood, 49.03 for Littlewood against a 49.2 for the race leader. I don't think Lawrence has escaped the world of pressure yet.
I don't actually think Lawrence is pushing. I think he's maintaining. You can see he has a second gap. He's probably turned around in the last lap or so and seen the gap. He can just look after his tires. There's no reason really for this moment to push. When he starts seeing that Littlewood is getting closer, that's when he'll turn the old afterburners on.
Exactly. But first of all, Littlewood has got to get past rather snapping and aggressive croc driven by Kalai Atkins. Now, Atkins, the gap remains 1 second. This is where Atkins and Littlewood need to sort of, well, have a sort of a subliminal conversation. Atkins is pushing as hard as he can. He won't know that Littlewood is putting in fast laps. What he will be getting, though, Kalai Atkins, is a signal from his team. Now, it may be a case of they can see, right, Littlewood has got the pace to catch Gus Lawrence. If we let him go, then he can just tow us up to the race leader. Also, as I say that, on this lap, Atkins is slightly quicker than Lawrence. But again, we don't know how much Gus Lawrence has got left in the tank. And that is one of the things that Gus Lawrence, he's a crafty veteran campaigner, is Gus Lawrence. And you can see he's got the clear visor on, so you almost see Gus's eyes, especially as he comes out of turn number 8. Through turn number 1, Atkins has got the lead down to 3/4 of a second, Magic.
Yes, he does. We still have just under 10 minutes to go on this race. We will see how this pans out. I mean, I still reckon Lawrence has something special. He can see the gap. As we mentioned before in the pre-final, catching up to him is one thing, passing is very much another. This experienced campaigner has all sorts of tricks up his sleeve.
Yes, indeed. He wears the number 1 plate for a reason, the defending and reigning British champion. But into turn number 8 now, as we look, as they come out of turn 8 into turn number 9. Lawrence with Atkins and Littlewood. Let's have a little look this time around. Once again, this time Lawrence is responding a little bit, so you're exactly right. Okay, he loses another 1/10 of a second, but only a 1/10 of a second. A 48.95 though for Marcus Littlewood, the first and only driver so far to break the 49-second barrier.
Yes, as we can see, he is now really pressuring Atkins. Can he find a way past? Does he want to work with Atkins with the remaining just under 9 minutes left on the clock? I mean, he is there. He is putting pressure on Atkins, but I don't think he actually wants to pass.
Well, no, I mean, Atkins is not defending, and you know what? The two pursuers have almost caught the pursuant. It's like Smokey and the Bandit with Lawrence eastbound and down at the moment.
See, Lawrence, no doubt Lawrence will be getting some hand signals from his crew, his mechanic.
Pods, yes.
Telling him how to deal with the race. You know, they have all sorts of hand gestures, you know, to speed up. You know, he doesn't actually necessarily even have to turn around. He probably just sees, and it's a move for second. Through goes Littlewood cleanly.
Let's have a look. Does that cost them time? The gap through the last split was half a second. They'll come to the end of sector number 2. Littlewood did a purple first sector, and it only cost him 1/10 of a second. Marcus Littlewood continues to be one of the fastest drivers, the fastest driver on circuit. Now Atkins has got to tuck in. I don't think we'll see Kalai Atkins fight back. He will try and just stay in Littlewood's slipstream.
Yes.
Marcus Littlewood, second last time out at Shennington. The only 2 podiums that Littlewood has had in his British Championship career so far, they've both come at Shennington.
Interesting stuff there. Obviously, he is currently en route for second place, but no doubt will be pushing very, very hard as he goes through the very fast right-hander there. The turn 6 flick braking again.
Interestingly, Lawrence has just set a personal best lap. 49.04 for Lawrence. So you were right. He was keeping something in hand. But what Lawrence has got left in hand, is it enough to hold off Littlewood, who continues to be quicker? This is going to be another very quick lap for Marcus Littlewood, a 48.99. He's back to 0.2 of a second quicker than Lawrence last time around. And Atkins is coming with him. The PF International team versus the Jade Racing team versus Croc Promotions at the front of this one.
Yes, it is that close. We have just over 6 minutes left remaining on the clock there. We can see through the very fast. Are they working harder? Are they what? Through that fast right-hander, turn 6 into 7, now braking late, using all of the curb on the exit. Lovely close-up shot there of Littlewood as he works his way. Look at how much of the track they use on the entry to turn 8, right out to the edge onto the grass. Turn 9, this is a fast right left there. We can see Caden McQueen not really being able to get into contact with these guys there because he's in his own little battle. Yeah,
this is the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th position. McQueen in 4th, Burgoyne Jr. 5th, and James Pashley in 6th, a sister Kart to the current driver of, fast up now for Kalai Atkins. So I was going to say, Pashley doing extremely well. Johnson Cole 7th, Cresswell 8th, Agambar and Nettleship round 8 at top 10. Then it's Duncan, Taylor, Smith, Ewell and Thomas after his earlier excursion down at the back of the grid after starting off so well. He now finds himself back in last place. But the gap is now 0.3 of a second. Kalai Atkins has the fastest lap of the race. This is going to be very, very close. 5 minutes to go. And into the Scottish Sun, it's like the heat is rising in what has suddenly become a very warm Scottish pressure cooker for Gus Lawrence. Can he, though, maintain his cool as Littlewood and Atkins continue to apply the pressure?
You couldn't tell from Lawrence's driving, though. It's like he's on he is on a Sunday drive, technically.
Yes.
Yeah, but look at the way he moves the steering wheel. You can't even see it move. That's when you can see the age and the experience of a driver, when they can just make the car move without turning the steering wheel.
Might have to move the steering wheel a little bit sharper soon, because Littlewood and Atkins are now breathing down his neck. Gus Lawrence has led every lap of every race so far this weekend. Pole position in qualifying, lights to flag win in both heat races yesterday, the same this morning in the pre-final. We thought he may have been having a little bit left in the tank and has been sandbagging ever so slightly. Well, it's time to throw out any sand he's got left in that kart and give it the full beans now, because Littlewood and Atkins are there and they are waiting to pounce on the tiniest microscopic mistake that Lawrence might make.
Yes, they are. All of them are using all of the road right to the edge of the grass. There is no time now being left out on track. They are pushing to the max, and rightly they should be, because we only have 3.5 minutes left.
Yes, we do. Across the line to complete lap number 14 and go on to lap 15. The gap has stabilized, however. Lawrence has maintained a metronomic pace, 49.0. Last time around, Littlewood a 48.96. Atkins a 48.93. They're nearly 3 seconds in front of Caden McQueen running in 4th place. Burgoyne Jr. in 5th. Pashley in 6th. Johnson Cool 7th. And then a big gap back to Cresswell in 8th. This is as close as Littlewood has ever been, and now Lawrence is going to have to do something he hasn't had to do all weekend, and that is defend.
Yes, is he, Littlewood's very fast through here. Is he going to have a look? No, thinks wisely of it. Wants to see where he might begin to plan out a move. When you're at this level, you can't just dive up the inside. The planning for a move has to take 1, 2, 3 corners even in advance before you can think of lunging it up the inside.
Well, Marcus Littlewood has been planning for the last 12.5 minutes. Now, into turn 6, there's the move. New leader for the first time all weekend. Marcus Littlewood. What could Lawrence do to respond? Because Kalai Atkins is right there. Lawrence is going to have to move between attack and defense in equal measures.
Yes, he will. You can see Littlewood is already just driving a little bit on the inside of the track. Oh, there's a little bit of pushing and shoving. And Littlewood, again, middle of the track. He is defending. He's, in his opinion, you know, I've done the job. And I am now going to sit in the middle of the track, and you have to try and get past me.
Exactly. He's been chasing for 12.5 minutes to make that 30 minutes. He's got less than 2 minutes plus a lap to go. It could be, this could be a very, very wide Jade. And back when before Marcus Littlewood joined the J team, he used to come to Kart Masters, and his graphics kit was homage to Ayrton Senna, and his team name, him and his dad, they used to be called Spirit of Senna Racing. Because they're big Ayrton Senna fans, well, they're going to have to summon some of that spirit now to keep Gus Lawrence at bay, because Lawrence is right there. And watch the crossover. This could be Kalai Atkins' chance. No, he ducks back in. Don't count McQueen, Burgoyne Jr. out either, because they're closing in. A minute to go, and it's game on the front. Any one of 3 could take it. What about McQueen and Burgoyne, who are closing in at a rate of knots?
Yes, they are. It's ever so close. It's like a special dance, isn't it? One way, the other.
Yes.
It is like they're trying to impress somebody out there from, you know, Dancing with the Stars, quite frankly.
This is a 12-wheeled tango with 30 seconds before the disco lights come on to signal the end of proceedings, as Atkins now takes P2, and he will give chase after Marcus Littlewood. He's led Littlewood before. Littlewood got back past him, but driver number 10, Marcus Littlewood, will cross the line with about 10 seconds left of the race clock. 2 laps to go.
Yes, there are. I believe I'm right in saying this will be, if he carries on to the end, there's nothing given yet, but this will be his first win in the British
This would be his first win in the British Championship, and it would be the Jade Racing's team first win in Senior X30 since October 2020 with Danny Curl. It's been a long wait. Is that wait about to come to an end? Out of turn number 7, Kalai Atkins is 5 kart lengths to go. The clock has struck 0. Out of the bank at turn number 8, downhill, they flick right and left, flirting with the curves but not hitting them. Now around turn number 10, the Motorsport Dash timing digiboard tells them it's the last lap. One more push for Kalai Atkins. Gus Lawrence sits in the championship lead in 3rd position. Here comes Atkins. What can the Croc Promotions driver do? Littlewood into turn number 6. He runs out over the curb, but not too wide. Atkins closes in. Atkins is going to have one last lunge. Littlewood checks over his shoulder once. He checks twice. He takes the line through turn number 8, and Atkins is not close enough. 3 looks over his shoulder. 4, the nerves must be coursing through him. Atkins is going to get the crossover. It's a drag race, side by side, and it's a dead heat. But the timing screen has Littlewood as your winner by less than 1/100th of a second. Marcus Littlewood almost lost it on the run to the line. Now, Motorsport Timing will get the photo cells out. We did a feature on the British Championship at the start of the year showing you the Olympic Games style photo cell technology that Motorsport Timing and the Wera Tools British Championship employ for just an occasion. The timing screens say it is a dead heat, but the photo cell says that Littlewood has it by less than 100th of a second. I'm looking to see Ian Rogers to give him the thumbs up. Littlewood is your winner by less than 100th. We thought the Bambinos would have the closest, but they were the best was saved to last. You cannot get closer than that. It took a photo cell dead heat to decide Senior X30, and for the first time in his career, Marcus Littlewood is a winner. What a race! What a fantastic performance by all three drivers. Clay Atkins is members congratulating the top three as well. She writes, that is what makes karting so special. Three superbly talented world-class drivers racing each other with the utmost respect. No quarter asked, none given, and there was not so much as one bit of plastic that came into contact with another. Absolutely superb racing. A full rundown unofficially. Littlewood, Atkins, Lawrence, McQueen and Burgoyne Jr. top five. Lowy, Johnson, Cool, Pashley, Cresswell, Agambar and Duncan your top 10. But Magic Chimera is about to speak to Marcus Littlewood.
Hello everybody, I'm here with the Senior X30s, and was that an exciting race or what? Quite the finish. I think we will start with what is certain, which is the third placed man, if we just call him over. We will wait for Gus Lawrence in a minute, or we'll have Marcus Littlewood, one of those two. We're waiting, but it was unbelievably close at the line. As you can see, all the drivers incredibly worn out. That was 50 minutes in this heat. It was quite the challenge. It will be Gus Lawrence, third place, who will be joining me. So, Gus, you know, you wore not quite a repeat of the pre-final. You know, you were leading for so long, and Marcus just managed to get you. Talk me through your race.
Yeah, it's tough. Obviously, leading all the heats on your own out there, it's tough to be a star every time. Obviously, it's easy for them to follow, isn't it? And yeah, just in the final, I think I lacked a little bit at the end of the race. And yeah, once he pipped me, and that was it. Just wear the older age of tyre, you get knocked back a bit further, and that's it. But yeah, well done to the others.
Were you pacing yourself in the middle of the race? Did you know you had the gap, or was that really all you had?
I know I had a little bit of a gap, but same as the pre-final, they do gradually catch you up. It's just when you're following, you can easily get your apexes right and braking zones right, especially when the tyres get older. There's more room for error. I think in the final, I lacked that little bit at the end. Yeah, it's just tough to lead, isn't it? It's to consistently lead on old tyres is tough.
Well, I think you'll still be leading the championship after this because you've had some very consistent results. Who would you like to thank? Paul Fletcher, wouldn't be here without him. My mechanic, Stephen. Bob back at PFI, everybody that's involved in the whole team, really, everybody. Congratulations, well done. Fist bump on your way out. Okay, now we will have Collie Atkins next. You are the top two drivers. I believe it will go down to a photo finish because it was that close. What was your view of the race?
You know, it was a bit hard with the issues we had yesterday, but you know, we managed to get rid of the issues, and we've been quite strong today. Well, last corner I tried to get the cut back, and there was a bit of contact. I don't know if it'll get looked at or not, but you know, it is what it is. I'll take the points, you know, considering yesterday's issues. But yeah, no, you know, I'm happy with the result.
Who did you feel was across the line first, from your point of view?
Well, you know, obviously I'm going to say me, but you know, I just have to see what the photos, see what that says, to be honest.
Okay, so obviously pending on where you'll finish, but who would you like to thank for this podium result?
I'd like to say massive thanks to Croc Promotion. You know, they do so much for me. Grass of always, you know, with the motors, I can't thank them enough. My sponsors, Tim Blacksmith, Stella Songs, McGill's Boxing Gym, you know, they've done a lot for me. I wouldn't be racing without them. And my dad, my mechanic Nils and my mum for watching and supporting. Thank you.
Great to hear. Fist bump on the way out? Yeah. Yes. And finally, our second driver in the top two. Marcus, what could potentially be your first win? You know, it's got to be dramatic, doesn't it? Your first win. Talk me through your race.
Yeah, it's really good race. Got not the greatest start, but I managed to sort of pick them off one by one. Like, I knew the tyres would come in a bit later, so I didn't really panic. And then caught Gus like 10th by 10th by 10th, and then managed to get him. And then I probably shouldn't have defended, but I was just covering off full bases, and I don't really know if I won, but I think I did. But yeah, it was a bit of a heart and mouth moment, but I think we got the win there. So.
Obviously, you were behind Gus in the pre-final. Now you managed to overhaul him. Did you change anything between now and last race?
Same thing, same setup, everything. We knew it was strong in the pre-final. I had quite a big gap to catch the Gus in the pre-final, and then in the final, I just left it, and yeah, it seemed to work. So.
Good to hear. And who would you like to thank?
Massive thanks to my parents, Scott Allen, Ross Allen from Jade Engines, Bailey MK, my sponsor, and everyone who's helped me, really.
Absolutely great to hear. Well done, whatever your result may be. It might be first or it might be second. Fist bump on the... It's first. It is. I'm getting confirmation off screen. It is first, which is your first win in this championship. So very, very well done. And that's it here from... I'm joined by Henry here, I think.
I was going to say, this man here is very relieved. So we said it took photo cell technology. We did the feature earlier this season, a Motorsport timing. They bring Olympic Games style technology. The timing system, on the screen it measures to 100th of a second, but in reality it measures to the 1000th of a second. But when it's less than 100th of a second, we go to the photo cells. We're going to get the photo up onto social media of that to show just how close this man came to winning. But we've had 6 races, 6 fantastic races. That last race, interesting. So Kalai Atkins' mum was on the live chat, and she was just saying, amazing race, the top 3 brilliant drives. Respect, close action, and having to sort out a dead heat at the end. That is what this championship is all about. That's why this man is the 2023 Motorsport Academy Young Driver of the Year, and that is why the Wera Tools Motorsport UK British Kart Championship is the best anywhere in the world. Magic, been fantastic having you on board. I'm sure this will not be the last time we have you. I'm getting a little bit worried about my job security, ladies and gentlemen. But we're back here next week to do it all over again with the Rotax classes. We had 102 drivers for you this week. What a show they put on for you. We've got 130 of them next week. What will they do? Hopefully the sun is still shining in Scotland like it was shining on Jade Racing's Marcus Littlewood. Thanks very much for joining us. See you next week. We now come to the podium presentation for Senior X30. I think anyone who watched the race would agree, one of the best battles for victory of the entire season. The top 3 drivers separated by less than 0.2 of a second. Finishing in third, representing PF International Karting, was Gus Lawrence. Gus sadly has had to leave and can't join us on the podium. He retains the championship lead, but your top 2 took a photo cell to separate them at the end, finishing in second position. He's P2 in the championship, I believe, for the Croc promotion teams. It's Kalai Atkins. So Kalai won round 3 at Shannington, and now the Jamaican flag standing P2 on the podium. But our winner today, it's his first win in the British Championship. It's his first British Championship podium anywhere other than Shannington, and it's Jade Racing's first win in Senior X30 since October 2020 with Danny Curl. Along with his winning mechanic Max, your winner today, it's Marcus Littlewood. Where's the mechanic? Go on, Max. So it's the red and white is back on top of the podium for the first time in nearly 3 years in this class. And while Gus Lawrence leads the championship comfortably, still all to play for between Kalai and Marcus for P2 in the championship. And again, if you look on social media, you will see a copy of the photo cell that decided the finish by less than 1/100 of a second. Ladies and gentlemen, your Senior X30 podium.